Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's presentation of leadership in the oil field. Tonight we're going to be examining what makes a leader in a field with such strong wills. Now, when I say leader, what do you guys think of?
A guide.
Supervisor.
Okay.
Boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to look at all of those things and a little bit more and see what actually makes a good leader in this field. And this can actually translate into any field. So if you take this back to your respective fields and apply it, it'll actually make you a better leader. Now, leadership positions in this industry include managers, supervisors, drillers, tool pushers, and company men, etc., etc., etc. Basically, there are a ton of leadership positions in the oil and gas industry. But, as we're about to see in the next slide, the title does not make the leader. Now, often, people are promoted to leadership positions just to get them out of the field. This means that people were having a lot of mistakes, just couldn't quite cut it in field work, so they're promoted to an office to avoid future mishaps. Managers and office staff are not really proper leaders for field work. This is talking about people that are not really experienced in what we do out in the field, but yet are put into a leadership position where they have to lead that. Some people lead naturally, and this means that they just have the natural charisma and the natural knowledge to be able to come out and lead a job. I've seen people in my line of work actually come out on their first day on the job, take over, and be allowed to do so because they are so good at it. So, thinking of all of that, what really makes a good leader? A good leader in this industry inspires those he works with to greatness. That's from one of my managers, Keith Braithwaite, Halliburton Wireline. In a field where everyone strives to produce the best results possible, a good leader will inspire those he works with to greatness, meaning they will want to perform to the best of their abilities because that's what their leader does. So, looking at that, a good leader leads by example, right? Okay. Some more characteristics of a strong oilfield leader. A strong work ethic, as in don't quit until the job gets done. This is really, really important because a lot of times we work extremely long hours, and as an operator out here, if your leader gets tired, you're going to get tired and you're not going to want to finish the job. You have to be comfortable teaching. There's a lot of times where you'll get new people, high turnover rate in the oil and gas industry, so you have to be able to teach these new people how to do their job, and you have to be able to teach whenever things might go wrong. Go sit down. You have to be respectful to your employees. They're not just tools to work with every day. And this is something I see a whole lot of guys get wrong, and they're losing a lot of respect from their employees because of it. You have to be kind-hearted. Now, a lot of guys in this industry, and in other industries as well, they are promoted to a leadership position, and they all of a sudden get the stone heart. They don't want to care about anything other than getting the job done. You have to be able to show a little bit of empathy to the guys you work with and recognize that people are going to have bad days. People are going to have problems in their personal lives. You have to be intelligent. Now, that's extremely important. As a leader, you have to be able to recognize when things are going good so that you can give your guys compliments, and when things might go wrong so that you can prevent it from happening. Now, why does any of that matter? If you ask any oilfield worker, he can tell you about the best leader and the worst leader that he's ever had. When he's talking about the best leader he's had, he'll tell you, this guy taught me everything I know. Now, you're an oilfield worker, correct?
Hmm?
Can you tell me about the best leader you've ever had?
Cliff Moore.
Cliff Moore?
Yeah.
Did he teach you a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Did he work with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you tell me about the worst leader you've ever had?
There's been so many, I can't count them all.
Can you pick one, and if you had to say something about him, what would you say? Doesn't have to be nice.
Just one, yeah, there's one in particular that comes to mind, and, yeah, he was a jackass.
Okay, that's fine. Now, you see there, that's an oilfield worker, and he can name off the top of his head the best and the worst leader that he's ever had. And right here, you can see, if they sit me on the job with him again, I'll quit. I paid attention to him just so I could see what not to do, or in his case, he was expletive. So, this one here is a very, 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 very important thing in the oil and gas industry. Leadership's choices and the quality of these choices have a tremendous impact on safety and productivity at both the individual and organizational level. So, your choices that you make not only affect the productivity and how things work on location, they also affect the safety of everybody there. By challenging themselves to think of safety and productivity as harmonious and simultaneous concepts that enhance each other, leaders may find that they are able to optimize both. And that is the key of the oil and gas industry. You want to get good results, you also want to be safe. This is another quote from a man that I used to work with. His name's Tyler Curtis. Working out on rigs or on locations, we see more of the people we work with than we do our own families. And that's very true. I'm out myself on location for 10 days at a time, and then I'm home for 5. Meaning that I'm at work more than 2/3 of the year, and I don't see my family during that time. It's important to be the type of leader that people want to work for, if for no other reason than to keep morale high. You want you guys to be happy at work. You want the people you work with to have a good time while they're working. Otherwise, you're going to get sick and sick of each other, and your productivity is going to go in the toilet. You also will want to come to work with even more stress than you would have already doing such an unsafe job. Right?
Right.
Now, we're going to get into some tips for oilfield leadership, but like I said before, this also applies to any field. As long as you're going to do these things, you're going to be a great, respected leader. You have to work with your employer or your employees and not over them, meaning don't hold your title to such high importance that you go on a power trip, basically. Don't be afraid to get dirty. Now, I said this applies to every industry, and it really does. You know, you might want your employees to go shuffle some papers around and they need help. Don't be afraid to jump in there with it. Or in our case, you might want your employee to go and drain this tank. And he's going to get dirty doing it, but he's going to need a hand. Go help him. Respect your employees. As we said before, they're not just tools. Employees are people. So you have to treat them with respect if you want respect back. Don't ask anyone to do something that you are not willing to do. Now, you're going to have that one hand or that one worker that will not listen to anything you say. So eventually, you're going to ask someone to do something, and you're going to have to go do it yourself. Make sure you're willing to do every part of your job. And always strive to be the hardest worker on location. That's the key right there. A great leader's number one priority is the safety of his employees. Number one is safety. Before, during, and after the job, be mindful of what your employees are doing and make sure they're doing it safe. So, as I said before, we spend more time with each other than we do our own families. So we keep in contact with each other outside of work. We want to be sure that we're checking in with our guys, making sure that they're doing okay at home as well as at work. We want to make sure that the day before they come back to work, they're not out on some bender and they come back in a manner that's unsafe for us to work with. Safety records are important, but everyone making it home to their families is paramount. In conclusion, be the leader that you would want to work for. Strive to keep everyone safe. Strive to be the hardest worker on location. Strive to treat everyone with respect. And strive for greatness. Thank you, guys.
Good job.